I've been engaged in sustainability activism and as a profession for 20 years now, and I found that we're quite nervous sometimes to actually look at the latest information square in the face because it can be quite traumatic when we see all the indicators, all the exponential graphs telling us quite a story of doom. And we see such little progress, whether we're working in business, whether we're working in politics, or whether we're working on the ground at the grassroots. And what I think we need, the sense I have, is that we need to build community that's actually bringing out the joy in who we are as fully engaged in the scale of the problem. So we're not going to sort of just be in our isolated worlds of struggle and a sense of loss and a sense of a lack of capability. We actually want to get people together who recognize that social change does require struggle. Also, that the challenges ahead are, it's painful. There's a sense of loss when you really realize, how tough things are. But to not then just sort of descend into despair or escape through denial, but actually through community and through restoring a sense of joy in each other, being together, exploring ideas together, but also restoring a sense of awe at the very fact of being alive, which is what you can get from getting out of your urban environment, getting out of the office, being in the most beautiful places. We're here in the Lake District, which is incredible, but you can just find beauty in a park. But that's the key thing, is to restore joy and awe through fellowship, through nature, through new ideas. Leadership starts with dropping professional pretense. It's too late for more professional pretense. The climate data is such where we can no longer sort of just pretend that we can somehow add on some of these extra concerns for the planet and for community and achieve change. So if you think you're a leader, but it's all about getting people to do the right thing for the wrong reasons, or it's using the language of the mainstream, then I don't think you're going to get very far. You have to, the essence of leadership is personal liberation from all the pressures, the acculturation from birth through society, and particularly if you've had the best education and you think you're a success in your career, these things, I think, enclose your mind and your sense of what's possible. So we try and undress people's minds with the work we do, and ditch those professional clothes and those assumptions, and actually look afresh at the way the world is and the way change happens. And that is, for me, the beginning of the leadership. Afterwards, you then have to look at all manner of skills for how do you engage people in collective action. The dominant discourse around leadership is completely wrong. It's hierarchical, it's macho, it's heroic, and the leadership that we need is the only leadership that's possible. And that is by leaderful groups. It's basically everybody sharing a sense of common values, a collective meaning and a purpose, and everyone stepping up at the right time and stepping back at the right time in service of a group achieving meaningful goals. And at a time like this, where the planet's under threat and we have gross inequality, then those significant, meaningful goals have to be beyond the individual and beyond the organization, whether you're a for-profit business or a self-interested, quite staid environmental group that's sort of just thinking of its own brand. You have to step outside of that and actually think more collectively and be part of a wider social movement. And so therefore we see leadership as essentially emergent. So it's not about a senior role, it's distributed, so it has to happen across the group. And it's episodic. Just because someone leads in the moment on a particular issue doesn't suddenly mean that they are a leader, because that's to slip back into the individualistic mindset. We need to cultivate leaderful groups doing meaningful things together.